All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about persuasion. We're going to crack the code, starting with some really old school wisdom and building up to a modern, step-by-step plan that'll help you make arguments that, well, that actually work. The kind people can't just ignore.
Okay, let's be real. Have you ever had that feeling? You know you've got this killer idea, a proposal that's a total game changer, or just a point that is 100% right, and you lay it all out, and you get crickets. It's just so frustrating, right? Knowing you're right, but you just can't seem to make anyone else get it.
Well, that's what this is all about. We are going to fix that. Today, we're not just talking theory, we're decoding an actual blueprint, step by step, that will get your arguments from being just heard to being truly, genuinely convincing.
So first things first, when we talk about persuasion, what's the end game? What are we really trying to do here? You know, it's not just about getting someone to nod along and say, yeah, you've got a point. That's only half the battle. The real goal here is to get them to accept your position, for sure. But then, and this is the key, to actually do something about it. It's the difference between someone agreeing it's a good idea and them actually rolling up their sleeves to help make it happen. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we get people to act? Well, to figure that out, we've got to go back in time, and I mean way back. Because believe it or not, the secret sauce for making this happen was figured out over 2,000 years ago, and it's just as powerful today.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. The philosopher Aristotle, way back then, he's the one who basically laid it all out. He identified these three core ingredients, these appeals, that are in literally every single persuasive argument you've ever heard, whether the person making it even realizes it or not.
First up is what he called ethos. This is all about your credibility. Think of it like this. Why do you listen to a doctor about your health? It's not just the white coat, it's because they've established trust, right? That's ethos. You build it by knowing your stuff, citing sources that people trust, and showing that you've actually thought about the other side of the argument. It's basically the why should I even listen to you part.
Then you've got logos. This is the logic, the cold, hard facts. It's the brain of your argument, your data, your evidence, your proof. I mean, without logos, what you have is just an opinion. But when you back it up with solid, clear, relevant facts, suddenly your argument feels heavy, real, and way, way harder for anyone to just brush aside.
And the third piece of the puzzle is pathos. This is the heart, the emotion. Look, facts and figures are great for convincing someone's brain, but pathos is what grabs them by the heart. It's what makes people not just understand your point, but actually feel it. It's the difference between saying X number of people are homeless and telling the story of one single person trying to survive on the streets. One is a number, the other is a gut punch.
All right, so ethos, pathos, logos, credibility, logic, emotion. Cool, ancient theory. But the big question is, how the heck do we actually use that today? Let's bring it into the 21st century with a modern blueprint that puts all this theory into practice.
It all comes down to 6 key steps. And the great thing is, you can use this framework for pretty much anything, from firing off an important email to giving a big presentation. Okay, here's the framework. It's so powerful because it's just so logical. You start right at the top, state your goal. No beating around the bush. Then, immediately, you answer the question that's on everyone's mind. So what? Why should I care? Step 3, you bring the receipts, the evidence. Then step 4, you help them see the future. You paint a picture of what success looks like. Step 5 is super important. You remind them it's their call. This isn't a demand, it's a choice. And finally, you make it incredibly easy for them to say yes, with a clear, simple takeaway.
So you might be looking at this and thinking, okay, this makes sense, but where's all that Aristotle stuff? Where's the ethos, pathos, and logos? Don't worry, it didn't disappear. It's actually baked right into this whole process.
Check this out. This is where the magic happens. Step 3, using evidence. That's your logos, your logic. Bam! Step 4, envisioning that amazing end goal. That's pure pathos. You're tapping right into their emotions. And step 5, reminding them it's their choice. That's a huge ethos builder. It shows you're trustworthy and not just trying to force them into something. And all those other steps about being clear and direct, they reinforce both your credibility and your logic. It's a complete system.
Okay, so we've got the framework down. Now let's talk about a few final keys to success. Think of these as the polish that makes your argument really stick.
Seriously, these are the little things that make a huge difference. First, stay professional. Always be respectful, even if you disagree. Second, stay focused.
I mean laser-focused. Every single sentence should serve your main point. If it doesn't, cut it. Third, no rambling. Get to the point. Be concise but complete. And finally, never stop learning. Get feedback, see what worked and what didn't, and get better for next time.
And at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. The whole point is to get someone from just thinking about your idea to actually acting on it. Look, if someone walks away thinking, that was interesting, you haven't won. You've won when they walk away thinking, okay, that was interesting, what do we do now?
So there you have it. You've got the ancient principles and you've got the modern blueprint. You are now officially equipped to build arguments that don't just get heard, but that get results. So, what argument are you going to go win?